Let's continue talking with the state attorney's offices. This is breaking this afternoon. Police body cam footage will be released much faster, perhaps as little as a month's time now, responding to community demands for greater accountability in police shootings, such as in Lake City, when an officer fired into a home during a SWAT standoff, or like the video of Jamie Johnson, where Johnson and an officer got into a scuffle during a traffic stop. The state attorney's office has overhauled its body-worn camera policy with police. Previously, footage remained secret until a criminal investigation of the officer's conduct was completed. And that could take years. That's now all changing. Our Ann Schindler joins us now live with the very latest on these changes and the speed up. Ann?
Thanks, Lou. So I met with Melissa Nelson. She talked to reporters today. She presented this plan. Earlier today, she met with a group of 8 stakeholders, including the NAACP and the Northside Coalition. She said they've been working on this plan since the beginning of June, saying that the people want to see some of this video sooner rather than later, and they're responding to that need. Now, they will approve the release to the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office within 30 days. That's a time frame that's also used by the NYPD, and it will then be the sheriff's job to release the video. He is committed to releasing it quickly, Melissa Nelson said. There will be some situations, she said, where the video might not be releasable if the criminal investigation is not complete in terms of the witness statements that they need to get, or if a family member objects. But she said it's a step in the right direction beginning today. Live downtown at the state attorney's office, Ann Schindler, First Coast News, on your side.